Hey everybody, this is Bev Gray from Technique Tuesday. Today I want to show you one of my new favorite stamp sets, and it's called the Enjoy Layered Flower. And it also has a matching die. Now one of the things that's really cool about our layered flower stamp set is that you can use it with all the layers in the die together. So if you like that really finished perfect look, that's a good look. You can also use just a few of the layers to create a card like this one, or you can do this where you're only using the outline to create a different look. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now when you get your layered stamp set out of the packaging, it's going to look like this, and I want to give you a couple tips for how to do this without having to use a stamp positioner. Now if you like perfectly stamped layers, go ahead and use your stamp positioner, but I want to also show you how forgiving and easy this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel that outline stamp off of the storage sheet. And as I peel it off the storage sheet, I'm going to just slide it right over and lay it on top of the image so that it's aligned in the same way it is on that storage sheet. And once I've got it aligned that way, then I'm going to lay its flat surface is up and the stamp image is down, and I'm going to lay my block on it and pick it up. And so now I know that that is oriented just the way it was on the storage sheet. Now I'm going to the solid stamp. I'm doing the same thing where I start peeling it off, and then I just slide it up here on top and I lay it down on top so that you're looking straight through it to the stamped image, and I'm picking it up with that clear block. So now I know I've got those two both oriented and on the block ready to be stamped. Finally, I'm going to do it with this more detailed piece down here. I'm peeling it off the block, or off the storage sheet, laying it down so that its image is right on top of the image on the storage sheet, and then I'm picking it up with the clear block. So now I know that I've got all of three of these on their blocks ready to be stamped in the right orientation without having to use any positioning tool. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a piece of paper that I want to stamp onto, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp that outline stamp. So I'm just picking that up, patting down a little bit of ink on the top of that. In this case I'm using VersaFine Black because I want a nice detailed black for the outline. I'm stamping that straight down, picking it straight up, and I'm ready to move on to the next layer. The next layer I'm going to stamp is the solid. And for this particular one, I'm going to go ahead and make it look like some sort of daisy. So I'm just using a yellow Memento, what is the name of this? This is Cantaloupe. So this is a Memento ink. It's a dye ink. So it may go on there a little bit splotchy and then end up sort of evening out over time. Now I'm not going to get my head in the picture, but I'm going to just go ahead and stamp that straight down and straight back up. And I'm pretty darn close to being right on, so I didn't need that stamp positioner. Now the last piece of this layered stamp set are the details. And for this one I'm going to use a Memento Potter's Clay. I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up like that and stamp that straight down. Again, I'm going to try to keep my head out of it so that you can see how easy this is to line up without a stamp positioner. So that's how you can do the layered stamping without a stamp positioner and still get a really good stamped image. Now I nearly forgot to show you the finishing steps to put the middle in that flower. So I've done the same thing where I've just taken the solid middle and then the little pieces that go in the very center and put them onto their blocks. In this case I'm going to stamp the solid first, and I'm using, what is this color? Desert Sand. So it's just going to be kind of a khaki color, I guess you'd call it. And similarly, it is a dye-based ink, so it will look kind of mottled and funny when you first put it down and then spread out over time. And now I'm going to go ahead and use that same Potter's Clay to add just a little bit of color straight in to the middle of that flower. So again, this is a really easy way for you to make a perfectly beautiful layered stamped flower image without having to have a stamp positioner. Get out your stamp, the stamp positioner. Now let me show you another way that you can use this stamp set. For this card, all that has been used is the outlines. So here, instead of stamping the layers, all that we used are some watercolors to fill in the image, the flower image, so that it looks like it has depth and dimension. So we didn't use any of these other pieces, just use the outline to make a really great card. Now another variation on using this stamp set is to use the outline in the center. So in this case we've stamped that and the little bumpies in the middle, and then just embossed them in the background and just rubbed a little bit of ink on them. So again, another way of using this is to just use the outline plus the center to make your cards or projects. Another way of using this stamp set is to just use the solid. So in this case we've used the solid plus the little bumpy center and embossed that into the background. So we didn't use the detail and we didn't use the outline, we just used that in the background to make that project. And another one I want to show you is this set of projects, and here we again did not use the outline, but we used the solid and the detail to make some pretty projects on those two pieces. And finally, if you do want to use your stamp positioner, or you feel like you can line them up like I did on that first project, here's an example of using them completely layered, all of the layers along with the leaves, and then using the dies to cut out that perfect flower and those perfect leaves. So this one is the most complicated, but it also produces really beautiful results. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different ways you can use the Enjoy Layered Flowers stamp set and dies. If you'd like to see more projects made with this stamp set, please visit our website. Thanks for watching.